Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. Myself, kushagra Agarwal, class 11, commerce, studying in St. Aloysius College. I am going to clear all the doubts of shares, and I am going to present myself on the topic shares. So, basically, the first thing, what is shares? So, shares is a part of owner's fund. And what is owner's fund? And owner's fund is the fund which is introduced by the owner himself in the business. That is owner's fund. So, shares is basically the part of the capital which is introduced in the business by the general public. In simple terms, a share is a percentage of ownership in a company or a financial asset. Share represents ownership of a company. When an individual buys shares in your company, they become one of its owner. Shareholders choose who run a company and are involved in making key decisions, such as whether a business should be sold or not. And they are also the owner of the company by the particular amount of share they have purchased. And income, we can earn income through shares. How I can earn income through the shares? There are two ways by which we can earn incomes through shares. One is if the shares increase in value, meaning you reap a profit when you sell them. Suppose we buy the shares of 10,000 rupees, and after purchasing it, after some time its value increases from 10,000 to 12,000. Then after selling it, we can gain the profit by 2,000 rupees. The another way is if they pay dividends. Suppose a company is earning high profits, then we can earn the dividends. Suppose, for example, we have 10,000 shares. Then if the interest uh, paid by the company is 10%, then we can get 100 rupees as dividend per month. So these are the two ways by which we can earn incomes. There are basically two types of shares according to Companies Act: preference shares and equity shares. Preference shares are those shares which have some preferential right with them. Suppose they have suppose they have any right in getting the dividend or any other right. Equity shares are just simple shares. Equity share is common security issued under permanent or owners fund capital. Equity share are most common Equity shares are the most common source of raising long-term loans. Equity shares, basically we have to principal differences between the equity shares and preference shares. If we know what is the difference, then we can even make their features and their merits and demerits. Equity share and preference share, it rate of dividend. The first thing is rate of dividend. In equity shares, the rate of dividend is not fixed. It depends upon the rate of profit earned by the company. But in the preference shares, the rate of dividend is fixed because it is basically given to the financial institutions who does not want them to put in the market ups and downs. Dividend payout. After all of the liabilities have been paid, the equity shareholder receives dividend. Means after when all the works are being done of the company, then equity shareholder will get their dividend or return. But it is not in the case of preference share. Preference shareholder receive the dividend before equity stockholders. Bonus shares. In addition to existing shareholder, equity stockholders are granted bonus shares. But in the case of preference shareholders, they do not get any bonus shares as they have a fixed rate of dividend. They just get the fixed rate of dividend. They didn't get anything extra. Capital repayment. Suppose if a company is there and uh, it is on the position to be closed, then when the company closes, the equity shares are repaid at the end. So suppose when assets are being sold, all the liabilities are being paid. After then, equity shareholders will get the payment. But preference shareholders will get their share all these before paying all these liabilities. Voting right. Equity shareholders have voting right in the company. They can choose the members who will execute the work, and they can also decide in the management of the company. But preference shareholder do not have such voting rights. Now we should know some general things about the shares. Both equity and preference shares are defined in the Section 85 of the Indian Companies Act 1956. Both the equity and preference shares are owned capital of the company. Preference shares are usually given to financial institutions as they do not like the ups and downs of the share market. Preference shares are not treated in stock market because preference shares are not treated in stock market due to which the value of preference shares does not increases or decreases. We can see that preference shares have same value in same value. For example, if we purchase it for 10,000, then it will remain same. But if we purchase equity shares of 10,000, then it its value may increase or it may decrease also. Now, to sum up, we can say that we can only purchase equity shares. We can't purchase preference shares because we are not having any financial institution. We can only purchase preference equity shares. So, because we can purchase equity shares, we can only invest in equity shares. But however, the key difference between equity shares and preference shares is beneficial for every investor. We should know this because it is general. The the more you learn about the equity market, the more secure your investment decision becomes. Sure. Now, it is the basic topic which we have completed. Thank you.